Hi, this is Jelyn from the Honors Tutorial. Our topic for today is about operations and functions. This is under basic calculus. Let's have our definition. So operations and functions definition, let f and g be the functions. So we have here the four operations and functions. The first one is addition. Their sum denoted by f plus g is the function defined by f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. Later, I will show you how are we going to use this definition and also how are we going to solve for it. Next, the second one is subtraction. Their difference denoted by f minus g is the function defined by f minus g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x. Next, we also have here the multiplication. Their product denoted by f times g is the function defined by f times g of x is equal to f of x times g of x. Lastly, we have here division. Their quotient denoted by f over g is the function defined by f over g of x is equal to f of x over g of x. Now, let's use the following functions below. So we have here h of x is equal to x plus 2. We also have here f of x is equal to 2x minus 5. Also, we have here g of x is equal to x squared minus x squared plus 4x plus 4. P of x is equal to x squared plus 3x minus 10. V of x is equal to x minus 2 over x plus 3. And t of x is equal to x minus 2 over x plus 3. Let's have number 1. We have here g plus p of x. The first thing that you have to do here for your solution is to identify what is g of x. So for g of x, we have here x squared plus 4x plus 4. And then we also have here p of x. Plus, that is the operation here, p of x. This is p of x, so we have here x squared plus 3x minus 10. So we are going to add the following terms that we had. Please combine like terms. Again, please combine like terms. How are we going to look for the like terms? When the exponent are the same and also the variable are the same, or the letter. So for the first one, we can add x squared and x squared. Why? Because they are the same. The variable is the same, the exponent is the same. How are we going to add this? Please add the numerical coefficient of x. And that is 1 plus 1. It is because we have here 1 beside x, but we cannot see it because it is invisible. So 1 plus 1, that's 2. And then what you are going to do is to copy the variable, which is x, and also the exponent, which is 2. And that's it. Next, look for the partner of 4x, and that is positive 3x. It is because they have the same variable and at the same time they have the same exponent. So what are we going to do to add this? When adding, you have to add the numerical coefficient, which is 4 and 3. So that's positive 7, and then copy x. And that's it. And then how about 4? 4 is a constant, so therefore you should look for a constant also. And that's negative 10. When we combine them or add them, positive 4 minus 10, as you can see, we have here different signs, positive and negative. So therefore, you should subtract the numbers. 4 minus 10, that's 6, and then copy the sign of the larger number, which is negative. So this is our final answer. 2x squared plus 7x minus 6. Next, let's have number 2. For number 2, we have here h times f of x. So h is x plus 2 times f, and that is 2x minus 5. So in here, we are going to use FOIL method. FOIL method refers to first term, outer term, inner term, and last term. Don't worry, I will guide you here. So let's have this first. So we have here x times 2x because we're referring to the first term. This is f. So you will just write x times 2x. And then let's simplify. So in multiplying x and 2x, please remember, multiply first the numerical coefficient. So we have here 1 beside x. Again, 1 is an invisible number when it comes to variable. We don't write it, but it is there. So 1 times 2 is 2. And then since this is multiplication, you have to add the exponents of x, then which is 1 and 1, so that is x squared. Again, if the exponent is 1, we don't write it, but it is there. Next, let's have the outer term. Letter O. I'll just use another color. So that is x and negative 5. This is O, the outer term. So you should write x times negative 5. So in multiplying this, just copy the number which is negative 5 and copy the variable which is x, and that's it. Next, let's have I. The inner term, this is the terms that we are referring to. This is I. So that is 2 times 2x. So that is 2 times 2, that's 4, and then copy x, and that's it. Next, for the last one, we have here the last term, and that is 2 and negative 5, that is L. So that's 2 times negative 5, so this is negative 10. So what are we going to do next? Please focus here in your outer and inner term. You have to add them or combine them. So negative 5x plus 4x is negative 1x or negative x. It is because you have here a negative number and a positive number. When we have here a negative number, you should, and a positive number, you should subtract the numbers. 5 minus 4 is 1, and then copy the sign of the larger number, which is negative. And then, since this is addition, you will not do anything with the variable and especially with the exponent. So just copy it. So therefore, we have here x or negative x. Why is it negative x? Because as I have mentioned earlier, one is a, one is an invisible number. So therefore, we should not see it in your term. Let's keep it invisible. So what are we going to do next? Our final answer will be this. Copy this, 2x squared. Why copy? It is because it doesn't have any partner. So therefore, you should copy it because you cannot simplify it anymore. And then use this, 2x squared minus x, and then use negative 10 minus 10. And that's it. That's the final answer. Next, we have here f minus h of x. Please identify what is f of x. That's 2x minus 5. So we have here the quantity of 2x minus 5. Use the operation minus h, and that is x plus 2. So the first thing that you have to do is to copy first the first given. So you have here 2x minus 5. Then after that, what I want you to do is to distribute this negative sign to this parenthesis. So we have here negative times positive x, so that is negative x. Negative times positive 2 is negative 2. And then you are now able to combine like terms. Which are like terms here? Of course, the one which has the same exponent and the same variable, and also the same constant. So we have here 2x and negative x. They are the same. They are partners because the variable is the same. The exponent is the same. What is the variable? That's x. What is the exponent? That's 1. They are the same. So therefore, we can combine them. 2x minus x is x, positive x. It is because we have here 1. So you have to subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then copy the variable and the exponent. Maybe you are wondering why not write 1x? Again, it is because 1 should be an invisible number. So therefore, we are not writing it. Next, combine negative 5 and negative 2 since they are both constants. So negative 2 minus 2 is negative 7. Why negative 7? Because they are both negative. So when their signs are the same, so therefore you have to copy the sign and add the numbers. So therefore it's negative 7. That is the answer for number 3. Next, let's have number 4. We have here g divided by p of x, or g over p of x. Let's identify what is g first. G is this. So we have here x squared plus 4x plus 4 over, what is p? That is x squared plus 3x minus 10. What are we going to do to divide this? First thing, you have to factor the numerator and your denominator. And that's it. How are we going to do that? This is how you're going to factor the numerator and the denominator. Let's have the numerator first. So please expand x squared. So please prepare two parentheses here and then expand x squared. It will become x and x, right? So we will write x here and x here. Since the signs of these terms are positive, so just write positive here. And think of a number that when you multiply is equal to positive for the third term, and then when you add them is equal to positive 4 again, the second term. So those numbers are 2 and 2 because 2 times 2 is 4, 2 plus 2 is 4. And this is the factors of x squared plus 4x plus 4. Next, how about the denominator? Same process. Prepare two parentheses here. And then expand x squared. So we have here x and x. And then think of a number that when you multiply is equal to negative 10. And then when you add is equal to positive 3x. And that is positive 5 and negative 2. So x plus 5 and x minus 2. It is because positive 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. And then positive 5 minus 2, that is positive 3. Any questions so far? Please notice the factors that we have here. We have here x plus 2 times the quantity of x plus 2 over x plus 5 times the quantity of x minus 2. Is it possible for us to divide this? No, it's not. So therefore, we're going to keep this answer. So simply write x squared plus 4x plus 4 over x squared plus 3x minus 10. And that's the final answer. So what's the use of this factoring part? It is for us to determine if we can cancel out some factors and then if we can simplify it. But in this case, we cannot. So therefore, we will keep this and this will be your final answer. Next, let's have number 5. For number 5, this is what we are going to do. So we have here, identify first what is V. So that is the x minus 2 over x plus 3 times t, which is x minus 2 also, over x plus 3. Let's multiply it. Actually, this part is part of special products, the topic that you have learned during your Math 7. So for this part, this is the shortcut method. Um, Square this or multiply this. X times x, that is x squared. And then negative 2 times x is negative 2 times 2, that's negative 4x. Again, negative 2 times x is negative 2x times 2. That's negative 4x. Then after that, you have to square negative 2. That's positive 4. And that's it. That is the shortcut method in multiplying x minus 2 and x minus 2 because um they are part of special products square of a binomial. Later, don't worry, I will show you step by step how are we going to solve for it. Same process with this. Square this, the first term that is x squared. Positive 3 times x, that's 3x times 2, that's positive 6x. Then square positive 3, that is positive 9. So plus 9. And this is it. That's the final answer. So this is your pattern for this part, for the numerator and denominator. If ever that you're wondering the method that I am using because it seems like it is very easy to multiply it. So this is the pattern. Quantity of a plus b squared is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Let's use this part. Actually, they are the same, right? They are just the same. So therefore, this will be your a and this will be your b. A is x squared because of this exponent plus 2 times a, that's x, b is negative 2 plus b squared, that's negative 2 squared. So we have here x squared minus 4x. Why minus 4x? 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 times x. That's negative 4x plus 4. And as you can see, they are the same. You can also use this. By the way, this is the given. Maybe you are wondering, why is it x minus 2? The given is, or the pattern is x a plus b. It can also be used, this pattern, for a minus b. Because in some lessons or books, they are using 2. So it will be hard for students to memorize the 2 because there are other special products to memorize also. So therefore, I'm advising students to have this because it is easier to memorize, and also you will adjust your formula by having the correct sign for the second term, just like this one. As you can see, I have here plus and plus for the operation, but it turned out to be minus 4x here in the middle term at the final answer. It is because of the value of b, which is negative 2. When when substituting, you have to substitute or include also the sign of the second term if it is negative. When the first term is a negative number, then write negative sign. It will help you a lot to get the correct answer. And that's it. Same process for x plus 3. I hope that you have learned something today, and you can message us, the honors tutorial, via Messenger. Thank you and God bless. Bye.